Arnold Schwarzenegger as a child. Elvis Presley at the Moulin Rouge, 1959. Malunka Savic, the most decorated female combatant in history, ceased 1972. This woman disguised herself as a man in order to join the Serbian army during the Balkan Wars, then served again in World War I, earned medals from Serbia, France, Russia and Britain. A sandwich vending machine, 1940s. First class on the Kodama Express, 1960. The same motorcycle, the same place and the same girl, 71 years between photos. Shinto priests are in the garden of the Meiji Shrine, Tokyo, in 1951. Photo cutouts, early 20th century. The 1945 Miss America contestants, with Miss New York named as the eventual winner. A Soviet teenager cleans the boots of a wounded German soldier at a train station, 1943. Austro-Hungarian dreadnought battleship SMS Szent István in her death throes, 1918. Igor Sikorsky demonstrates the design of his new aircraft, 1931. Frederick Douglass and wife Helen Pitts at Niagara Falls, 1884. Orson Welles at the premiere of his new movie, May 1st, 1941. In 1982, Agnes Deans cultivated, grew and harvested a 2-acre wheat field in downtown Manhattan. Filming animation using motion capture method, 1969, Los Angeles. Marilyn Monroe and the cat Miso. FSXF Hellcat pilots of VF-16 celebrate after shooting down 17 out of 20 Japanese planes heading for Tarawa, November 1943. Gas station bomber from an Oregon service station, circa 1947. George Lucas surrounded by Star Wars props. Democratic presidential nominee Senator John F. Kennedy, in backseat of Pontiac convertible, talks with farmer James Cox during his campaign visit to the farm in Fort Dodge, Iowa, on September the 22nd, 1960. Gustav Whitehead's glider, 1901. Some aviation historians believe Whitehead flew powered aircraft 2 years before the Wright brothers. (1970s) grade school music class. On the set of Ghostbusters, a marshmallow man wreaks havoc in an innocent town, 1983. Japanese tank Type 2 Hoei. A picture phone is demonstrated at the AT&T Pavilion at the 1964 World's Fair. The fair introduced more than 50 million visitors to a range of technological innovations and predictions for how the future would look. Photo of the first Soviet nuclear explosion that occurred at the Semipalatinsk test site on August 29, 1949. Expelled survivors of the suppression to the Warsaw Uprising, Polish women and children from the Wola district, being led by German soldiers after the Wola massacre in 1944. Armed radical members of the Slovak People's Party raid the party headquarters in an attempt to secure Slovak independence after Germany and Hungary threatened Czechoslovakia again. This happened in March of 1939. Amazon's Bezos in his office, 1995. A well-equipped Volkssturm unit parades in Berlin, 1944-45. Many senior officers considered the gear wasted on largely untrained militia. The Volkssturm was composed mainly of men too young, old, or otherwise ineligible for regular service. Breaker boys employed by the Pennsylvania Coal Company, 1911. Coca-Cola workers manually filling and inspecting bottles at a bottling plant in Bern, Switzerland, 1949. A German Junkers Ju-52 transport aircraft is burning at the airfield, March 1942. An AIDS activist holds up a sign protesting the decision to overturn an anti-discrimination law. Orange County, California, June 20th, 1989. The World Trade Center, New York City blackout 1977. Madonna inside her East Village apartment in 1983. Racing Egg 1982. Skylab 3 mission pilot Jakar Luzma towels off after a vacuum-sealed shower in Skylab's orbital workshop 1973. Soldiers of the United States Armed Forces against the backdrop of the burning oil fields of Bergen Gulf War, Kuwait, 1991. England, 1985. For a brief moment, there was the business connection. A band formed and fronted by aristocrats, Lady Helen Teresa Margaret Manners, daughter of the 10th Duke of Rutland, and Henry John Fitzroy Somerset, now the 12th Duke of Beaufort, trading at the Sydney Stock Exchange during the 1987 stock market crash, known there as Black Tuesday. Afghan guerrillas atop a downed Soviet Mi-8 transport helicopter near the Salang Highway, a vital supply route north from Kabul to the Soviet border, January 12, 1981. The amphibian which converted from car to plane. The car backed into the fuselage and the propeller fastened to nose, 1948. Return of Leonardo da Vinci's painting, Lady with an Ermine, 1946, Poland. A German girl gives flowers to Soviet soldiers on the street of post-war Königsberg, June 1945. Police struggle with anti-Vietnam War demonstrators outside the Embassy of the United States in Grosvenor Square, London, on March 17, 1968. At an army base in Brooklyn, men drained 10,000 barrels of beer into New York Harbor Prohibition era. Police and armed Afghan militiamen walk amid the debris after a bomb, allegedly placed by the Mujahideen rebels, exploded in downtown Kabul during celebrations marking the 10th anniversary of the Afghan Revolution, backed by the Soviet Union, 1988. Uma Thurman and John Travolta on the set of the film Pulp Fiction, 1994. Number 711, Panzer IV-D destroyed in Battle of Stone with Crew's Tomb, May 1940. The funeral train rolls through Princeton Junction, New Jersey on June 8, 1968. Several people hold portraits of Robert F. Kennedy, including a man whose poster reads "Seek a Newer World." Trumpeter, George Gritton with a Russian Eagle flagpole that was brought to England as a war trophy, 1856. Cameron Diaz, 1904. Creepy vintage Halloween photo from the 1900s. Miner's Daughter, Yorkshire, England, 1952. President Lyndon Johnson shakes hands with Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. on July 3, 1964, in Washington, District of Columbia, after handing him a pen during the ceremonies for the signing of the Civil Rights Bill at the White House. Boeing B-17G Wee Willie, 323rd Squadron of 91st Bombing Group. Flying over Stendal, Germany, the port wing was blown off by flak on April 10, 1945. Germans with trophy French dog, September 1, 1915. Wyoming cowgirls were central in all aspects of ranching, professional rodeo circuits, and Wild West shows, and in the 1860s Wyoming Territory became the first in the world to grant women the right to vote. 1903. A North Vietnamese army officer laughs at the peace symbol necklace of a captured American soldier, North Vietnam, 1973. Mother and her two children listening to the radio, Kharkiv, Poland, 1932. Barbara Eden with Johnny Carson before he had The Tonight Show, early 1960s. A German street performer balances a seated soldier on his chin, Berlin, 1919. East German border guards gaze into West Berlin on November 11, 1989, 2 days after the Berlin Wall officially came down, ending 28 years of separation. A pair of bound Korean civilian hands and a breathing hole in the snow at Yangju, Korea, January 27, 1951. The duel between King Juan Carlos of Spain and King Constantine II of Greece in 1966. Ava Gardner in black satin dress and gloves, as femme fatale Kitty Collins in The Killers, 1946. The Spaghetti Eaters, Naples, Italy, 1873. At the time, devouring spaghetti by the handful was a popular street performance in Naples. Loaner Porsche car at the World Exhibition 1900, Paris. Loaner Porsche was the world's first front-wheel drive car with a hybrid powertrain. Astronaut Joseph Kerwin blows a water bubble through a straw during the first manned Skylab mission 1973. Roger Moore with some friends on the set of For Your Eyes Only, 1981. James Varney and Robin Williams backstage at the Comic Relief Comedy Special, 1989. Testing early television technologies. New York, 1959. Brandon Tartikoff, Woody Harrelson, and George Wendt letting loose on the set of Cheers in 1993. Fashion models Zeman and Jerry Hall, photographed by Norman Parkinson for the French edition of Vogue Spring 1982. Looking up California Street from Sansom Street, the great 1906 San Francisco earthquake. People purchase fresh eggs from local farms from the machines, 1960s. Harry Houdini, 1912. Discussion of the design of the electric chair. It was made by prisoners, Michigan, August 9, 1927. Underground nuclear explosion, United States, October 22, 1964. A drunk man riding a hippopotamus, Novokuznetsk, USSR, 1982. Alain Delon and Monica Vitti on the set of Elle Eclisse. Women are practicing shooting on the outskirts of Tehran, Iran in 1986. Paulina Poriskova, 1187. A car covered in crocodile skin, United States, 1919. Mickey as a guest at a party given to 350 children by the 562 Battery Searchlight Regiment, Streatham, London. 1947. Ernest Hemingway hanging out with Gary Cooper, 1950s. A boy enjoying a Coca-Cola, 1950s. Christmas card, Angus MacBean. Photographer Angus MacBean's Christmas cards frequently feature whimsically photo-manipulated images like this self-portrait. 1950. The jumbled ground of Turnagain Heights after the landslide. Alaska, 1964. Marika Lucas, one of the original Playboy bunnies, was once photographed wearing a scandal suit by Cole of California. Kylie Minogue, 1992. Elderly Civil War veterans playing cards together, 1930. Head measuring device for helmets, 1973. Mobile home, United States, 1920s. Jiggly driver's suit. Boeing Air Transport stewardesses, 1930. Explosions send dirt into the sky during the construction of Cinder Lake Craterfield No. 2 on July 27, 1968. A total of 354 craters were carved out of the Arizona landscape in this field to create a simulated lunar surface. Cillian Murphy as a young child in the 1980s. Jean Manford marches with her gay son during a pride parade in 1972. The flood in New York City on September 12, 1960. Elton John rocks Los Angeles, October 1975. The killed elephant Betty in the bombed elephant barn of the Leningrad Zoological Garden, September 10, 1941. A powerful collision unidentified German artist postcard with an image of a German soldier crushing members of the Triple Entente, World War I, 1914. New York City. A lucky lady catches a ride with a smiling gentleman outside City Hall, as others trudge by during a snowy day in 1947. Hunter S. Thompson taking it out on his typewriter, 1980s. Fiona Apple and Winona Ryder being icons in the 1990s. (1980) Citroën car in concept interior. A Polish policeman with a dog wearing gas masks, 1930s. Storm, 1920s. Charlie Chaplin on the set of The Gold Rush with assistants. California, April 1924. Bike tour in Paris, 1989. This photo is from 1961. Ernest Hemingway poses with his beloved shotgun. Ronald Reagan reflected in a mirror, 1955. The last evacuee to leave the Grenada Relocation Center in Amache, Colorado, says goodbye to project director James G. Lindley as the War Relocation Authority camp is officially closed October 15, 1945. Mick Jagger, 1973. Hugh Seafield's juggling hats in 1900. Kathy Griffin and Jack Black on a date in the 1990s. Volkswagen harness to keep a toddler safe, 1960s.